Hello, Wrestling Fanatics. Welcome to episode 590 of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. As I said in that preview, if you're watching or listening on Spreaker, AEW Dynasty is now in the books, and it was a huge pay-per-view, a lot of hype going into this event. And before I get into the pay-per-view, I just want to say it was better than even I expected, at least in my opinion anyway. And let's get started without any further ado. First though, I want to mention on the 0 hour, we had a title unification match with the AEW World Trios Tag Team Championships and the Ring of Honor 6-Man Tag Team Championships. It is the Bang Bang Gang, Bullet Club Gold, Switchblade Jay White, and the Guns defeating the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass Billy Gunn to unify both sets of those titles. And the main pay-per-view card, AEW Dynasty, live from St. Louis, Missouri. Our commentators tonight, once again, like AEW has been doing lately on pay-per-view, been kind of rotating announcers during the matches. So our commentators throughout the night, Tony Schiavone, Excalibur, Taz, and Jim Ross. And also during the pay-per-view tonight, we heard from the AEW Spanish announce team, and they now have Carlos Cabrera. Of course, you probably remember as a long-time WWE Spanish commentator. I don't listen to the Spanish commentary, but I'm sure that would probably be good for AEW going forward. In our first match of the evening, the AEW Continental Championship is on the line. This one was one of the matches, and there were quite a few matches tonight where you look at them on paper and say, not only just could this be a candidate for match of the night, but maybe 3 of the matches on the show, you could maybe even make an argument where you could say possibly match of the year candidate. And this was one of the ones that had a lot of buzz around it. Pac and Okada, and it definitely did not disappoint. Excellent match. Definitely a fan of this one. To finish these, Pac go for the Black Arrow. Okada getting the knees up and hitting a Rainmaker. 22 minutes, 29 seconds to retain the Continental Championship. Great match between Okada and Pac here. Not sure if we're going to see another match, see this feud continue. But would definitely love to see another match between them. This one gotta give 4 and a... I'll go with 4 out of 5 ring bells for Pac vs. Okada. Trios action up next. The House of Black, Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, and Brody King taking on the team of the AEW TNT champion, the Rated R superstar Adam Copeland, the Ring of Honor World Champion Mark Briscoe, and Eddie Kingston. Another really good match here. And this match, and especially the first match, actually, and then during the night, the crowd was just so loud, even just watching on TV, you could hear how loud and how electric this crowd was. They were into the show pretty much the whole night. And really good match here. The finish sees a little bit of a distraction. Malachi Black spitting the mist in the face of Adam Copeland and getting the win. 17 minutes, 51 seconds. The House of Black victorious. And wouldn't be surprised, it's been being teased recently on AEW television, possibly Malachi Black getting a shot at the TNT Championship. Wouldn't be surprised if we would see it at Double or Nothing in May, or possibly on TV before then, but definitely wouldn't be surprised if we see Malachi Black get a shot at the TNT Championship against Adam Copeland. The AEW TBS Championship on the line, honoring the House of Black. Julia Hart taking on Willow Nightingale. Kind of kept a little short, but still good match in my opinion. I know I talked about this on Good Morning Wrestling Fans. There's been some reports about Julia Hart being possibly a little beaten up and maybe taking a little bit of time off. So wasn't really a surprise. Willow Nightingale, new AEW TBS champion. 6 minutes, 1 second. Like I said, kept maybe a little short, but I thought it was a fine match. Don't know if I would put it on that list of best matches of the night, but still, like I said, a fine match. And the AEW International Championship on the line. Two former friends, Roderick Strong defending against Kyle O'Reilly. Excuse me. Another really good match. Another one. The crowd was really into this one. These two put it all out there. Great match. And interesting note, Roderick Strong came out with the Undisputed Kingdom, but then they were sent to the back. But we did end up seeing Wardlow cause a little bit of a distraction. Roderick Strong hitting the end of Heartache to get the win over Kyle O'Reilly and retain the International Championship. And after the match, not only do we see the Undisputed Kingdom make their way back out, but we also see the return of Adam Cole, baby, back. And there was a tease when the Undisputed Kingdom got in the ring to celebrate. Wardlow, he had his back turned to Adam Cole, and he gave him this look. And once Wardlow turned around, looked at him, then he just went on his way. But there was definitely a tease there between Adam Cole and Wardlow. What that will exactly lead to, who knows? But the FTW Championship now on the line. Lionheart Chris Jericho taking on the cold-hearted handsome devil Hook. And FTW rules. Anything goes. Garbage can involved. A table. Jericho putting Hook through a table that was standing up in the corner. And Hook locks in the red rum. Jericho counters that with a low blow. Hits the Judas effect. 2 count. And Jericho's even apologizing to Hook at this time. Tells him to stay down. But Hook gets back up. Jericho gets the bat. Hits Hook with it. Then gets the pin. 16 minutes, 36 seconds. And the medical team comes and checks on Hook. Taz, at this time, gets up from the commentary position, goes in the ring to check on his son. And pretty good match, I thought. Again, good match, but I'm not sure if I would put it on that list as the best matches of the night, though. Still very good match. And not done with the recap yet, but I just want to say that not a bad match on the show. Definitely not at all on this card. From top to bottom, I would say every match was at least good or better on this one. Just my opinion. But I'll talk more about that after the recap. And the AEW Women's World Championship now on the line. We have Timeless Toni Storm taking on Thunder Rosa, who never actually lost the title. So you got a good story there. And at one time, Rosa kicked out of Storm Zero. And Toni Storm goes and starts pulling up the ring apron, pulls into the ring. And then when referee Bryce Rensburg is fixing it, is distracted, Toni hits Thunder Rosa with a low blow, and then Storm Zero to defeat Thunder Rosa. 15 minutes, 4 seconds. Still your AEW Women's World Champion, Timeless Toni Storm. And I made a mistake, forgot something to mention. I know I'm a terrible note taker, didn't put this in my notes, but as we already knew that Mercedes Moné will be making her in-ring AEW in-ring debut at Double or Nothing in May. And she said she's going for the TBS Championship. She comes out on the stage, and we're going to see Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Also, Stokely Hathaway was on commentary for that match, and Willow's friend Chris Statlander come out to celebrate as well. And now it is time for the dream match. Wrestling fans all over the world have been buzzing about, been waiting for. The aerial assassin Will Ospreay versus the American Dragon Bryan Danielson. And of course, Don Callis was on commentary for this match. This was one of the ones, like I talked about, was people saying not only just match of the night candidate, but also possibly match of the year candidate. And I just want to say this one definitely did not disappoint. I thought both of them, Danielson and Ospreay, went above and beyond, had an instant classic match. I love this match, especially the crowd was so into this one. Right off the bat, we had chants, both these guys, and then they got into a Ospreay chant, and even later on at one time, they even started chanting, "We're not worthy." Seeing such a great match. Danielson, one of my favorite wrestlers. Will Ospreay, you gotta put it on that list, at least somewhere, of best wrestlers in the world today. And Ospreay hitting the Storm Driver to get the win at 32 minutes 41 seconds. And this finish was interesting. After Will Ospreay hit the Storm Driver, Danielson landing right on his head. It was a nasty bump. And Ospreay didn't see exactly what happened and then came back with the elbow to defeat Bryan Danielson. And then after the match, once Will Ospreay saw what was going on, checked on the condition of Bryan Danielson, and more about that when I talk about the media scrum a little later on. And now is the finals to determine the new AEW World Tag Team Champions. Ladder match, the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, taking on FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. This is another one. Going into it, you knew it was going to be great, and in my opinion, it over-delivered. Fantastic match, and it was speculated, but we saw a masked man wearing a hoodie come out, assist the Young Bucks, and security ran in the ring right away, grabbed this individual, took off the mask, none other than Jack Perry, making his return to AEW television, and went through the crowd. Excalibur on commentary saying about being trespassing, being illegal, threw up one of these, and definitely interesting to see if maybe Jack Perry going to be a part of the Elite now, joining up with the Young Bucks. That has, like I said, been talked about as of late, but the Young Bucks, new AEW World Tag Team Champions, not only that, but also the first 3-time AEW World Tag Team Champions as well. Great match. Definitely over-delivered though. Now time for the main event of AEW Dynasty. The AEW World Championship on the line. The Samoan Submission Machine Samoa Joe defending against Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana. Another one. Awesome match. Definitely over delivered. And that arena there tonight in St. Louis was definitely Swerve's house. They definitely wanted to see Swerve walking out of Dynasty as the new AEW World Champion. And they did. Swerve Strickland defeating Samoa Joe to become the new AEW World Champion. Great match, 18 minutes 2 seconds. Swerve celebrates. We have all the confetti and everything. And great way to finish off this pay-per-view. So overall, AEW Dynasty, the first ever edition of it, over-delivered in my opinion. I thought this was a fantastic pay-per-view, and as far as a rating goes, just my opinion, it doesn't mean anything, but so hopefully no nasty comments or rude comments in the comment section, but I gotta give this 10 ring bells out of 10. Like I said, just watching it, still feeling the buzz from the pay-per-view. If you disagree with me, that's fine. And you can put that in the comments if you do disagree with me. Just no rude or nasty comments, hopefully. But definitely gotta give it 10 out of 10 ring bells. Like I said, that's just my opinion. And that was tonight's AEW Dynasty pay-per-view. And then we go to the AEW media scrum. Luckily, there wasn't too long of a wait in between. Right now, it's 1:59, about to be 2 a.m. Not really too late, maybe around the usual time when I come on after an AEW pay-per-view. First, we start off, Tony Khan is with the new AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland, and then we get the new AEW TBS Champion Willow Nightingale, and Toni Storm, the AEW Women's World Champion, is out, and she's not too happy with the questions she got, and then finally she just walks off. And then Will Ospreay, interesting note here, he starts off by saying that he apologized. He apologized to Bryan Danielson, the AEW medical team, Tony Khan. And he even said that he's gonna stop using the Storm Bomb, or the Storm Driver, excuse me. Also, he was asked about the promo about Triple H that he cut on Dynamite this past Wednesday night, and he said that he's pretty much, he said, disappointed that he kind of sunk to that level, and he wants to be better than that. And then Tony Khan talked. He was asked about the Warner Brothers Discovery deal. He said they're in exclusive negotiation window with Warner Brothers Discovery, and he pretty much said Jeff Perry is back in AEW now, and possibly by sometime in 2025 we'll know for sure if AEW is going to have any kind of streaming deal or not. And he said that he would like to have possibly another pay-per-view in the future in St. Louis. And they did have a great crowd there tonight. They were into just about every match on the show. And that is all for this episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic, episode 590. Thank you everyone for listening, downloading, just a little after 2 a.m. So that's not really too bad. There actually has been a couple AEW pay-per-views, I think, that might have even gone a little later. But in my opinion, Great pay-per-view tonight. The first ever Dynasty. AEW hit it out of the park. And had another really good pay-per-view last night with TNA Rebellion. Some notes coming out of that. I won't get into it now, but I might try maybe can say earlier today or later today. Sorry, later today, since it is Monday now. On Good Morning Wrestling Fans, there was an update on the condition of Eric Young after that scary spot through the table that he took last night in the Full Metal Mayhem match. I'll talk more about that. If not Good Morning Wrestling Fans, maybe 360 Wrestling Fanatic tomorrow night. And in the comment section, go there right now and leave your thoughts and predictions. Your thoughts and your comments on tonight's AEW Dynasty pay-per-view, and you can still comment on TNA Rebellion. And that's all for 360 Wrestling Fanatic tonight. I will talk to everyone tomorrow morning for the Monday episode of Good Morning Wrestling Fans. So hope everyone will join me for that. And until then, I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.